We're back with another episode of the Warrior's Heart podcast, sitting down with Mr. Cale Royston. Man, I appreciate you being here today. You're one of the guys that I've met along the way. I think when you came in last, I was your missions advocate, so I got to know you from that. But ever since then, man, you've engaged in the program. You've come back for the reunions. You stay in touch with me all the time. You come back for the recharges, which is why you're here now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just truly an honor to witness your growth and to see you blossoming and becoming the person that you were supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I was just sharing with somebody a minute ago, family, when they were here for a quick tour, that the person that checked in here with me, you know, the guy that checked in here was not the guy that I was.
Mm-hmm.
I was a good dude back before I got sick.
Mm-hmm.
And the person that I was supposed to be was just trapped inside of this shell,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to get out of it. And it took a while, but I did it. And to be able to come back here as an employee and see it firsthand in other people is magical. And you coming back here, every time you're here, man, you're engaging with the guys, you're telling your story, you're offering hope and encouragement, you're doing everything that you should be doing. And it's amazing to see it.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, brother.
Thank you.
So I don't want to mess up the introduction and everything. So I usually let the guests kind of introduce themselves about who they are, where they've been, where they're from. Tell us a little bit about it.
My name's Cale. I grew up in the military. My mom was supply. My dad retired infantry 21 years. My brother was a West Pointer. He was a combat engineer. He took a platoon in Iraq in 04 at a Big Red 1, and then took a company out of White Sands, New Mexico, into Afghanistan in 09. I knew from a very early age exactly what I was going to do. And I had an awesome childhood. Like, there was no reason for me to go down the path that I went down other than I made a bad choice.
Mm-hmm.
Once that choice was made, once those hooks were in me, that was it. And
Yeah.
I've been close to my family. I've been extremely lucky that they've never given up on me, not once.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout all the treatments and everything else, they've always had my back. Like, they might have been disappointed, they might have been upset, but at no point did they ever stop loving me. And I can say I can truly know what unconditional love is because of my family.
Yeah. And we're going to dive into every bit of that, especially the military family aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as where you are today, you said 15 months sober,
15
correct?
months today.
15 months today?
I got my chip today. Well, I got a 24-hour coin that I'll scratch 15 months on.
Works for me, man. However you got to do it.
That's it. And I tell people, like, when I get the coin, I tell them, I said, hey, man, this is just a cheap piece of plastic. But to me, it's priceless.
Yeah.
Like, it's continuing to prove to myself that this thing that I thought was so impossible, because I thought I was going to die a junkie. Like, I was 100% sure that I was too broken to fix. Like, there was no way I would ever come back from fentanyl. Like,
Yeah.
I hadn't met anyone that had come back from it. And so many of my friends were dying or doing long prison sentences. And February 18th of 2025, I tried to kill myself because I tried to quit for a year and I couldn't.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to do it alone, which it won't work.
No, can't do it alone.
And the thing is, ever since March 11th of 2025, when I came through this gate, I've never been alone in this fight since. Like, between the brotherhoods that I continue to join every time I do the recharges here and the brotherhood I made while I was here, like, we have a group text that there's 20 of us in that thing stays active. We're always talking to each other. There's no judgment in it. If guys talk about they want to drink or if they've relapsed or something like that, like, we're all there for support and encouragement because we've all fallen, every single one of us. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it took me 10 times before I ever got anything close to recovery. And the longest I ever had was 93 days, and that was all in the treatment center.
Yeah.
As soon as I leave the gate, I go right back to it.
It's a tough battle, man, but you encapsulate how we do it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go into Afghanistan by yourself, or were you with a unit?
I was with my platoon.
Exactly. And it's just a different type of platoon, different
Mm-hmm.
type of unit, different type of combat group, you know? So that illustrates perfectly how we beat this,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we say it all the time, you're not alone, right? You're not alone. You got people here, and then when you leave here, staying close to that group is crucial. So, and you live in Oklahoma now.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're from Oklahoma. That's where you live. You come down here for recharge. So I imagine life is a hell of a lot better these days than it was, say, 18 months ago.
My life, if I could go back, I got 15 months. If I could go back, let's just say 16, 17 months ago, and I could say one thing to that junkie, knowing everything I know today, that I would actually have success this time, I wouldn't say a word to him. I'd just hug him.
Yeah.
There's nothing I could have said to that guy that would made him believe what I'm doing today is possible. Like, I never thought I could be, I'm not going to say I'm completely happy, but I found peace. And that peace is something that no one will ever take away from me. Like, I fought so hard to find that peace, and I'm continuing to add to it. And I'm happy, but I know I'm going to be happier, because the longer I stay sober and I stay away from fentanyl and those people, places, and things, the better my life has become.
Absolutely. And we're not selling some kind of perfect utopia, sunshine, rainbows, and hand jobs all the time, right? There's going to be ups and downs.
And I've had them since I left, and not once have I thought about using, not once.
Exactly, right? And we're living life on life's terms.
Yes, sir.
Which can be difficult at times. It can. But you get the tools, the resources, and the community to help you deal with that, so that you don't have to spin out of control over it. And we're going to jump into all that, but I did want to touch on one thing real quick when you talked about the military family. People's decision to join a life of service, military, first responder, whatever, is based on different things, right? In some episodes, we talk about ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, and that's something that's well known in the military and first responder community, I guess. The people that grow up in a hectic house, have a tendency to escape that family and find a new family with military service, et cetera, right? And you're saying, hey, life was great growing up. But at the same time, you also came from that military family, right? There's families of electricians or people that work on the railroad or welders or mechanics. That's what the family does. Your family was military. Yeah, your dad served. What about the generation before your dad and your mom and brothers?
I had a great Uncle Barney that was in Bastogne.
Oh, no shit.
My family can originally, my dad has done it before. He traced it back to us being part of Mosby's Raiders during Civil War. Like, we go back that far in the military service.
Warrior family through and through.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And my dad and my brother are, without a doubt, the two best soldiers. Like, when the term a soldier, that's my dad and my brother through and through.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough that when I was in, I got assigned to the best platoon in the Army. And I can say I truly know what it's like to walk amongst giants, not just because of the guys I served with in Afghanistan, but also here at Warrior's Heart.
Now, how long were you in the Army?
3 years.
3 years. You were part of the Big Red One.
No, 10th Mountain.
10th Mountain.
10th Mountain.
Gotcha. 10th Mountain, light infantry, Afghanistan, Iraq too, or just
Afghanistan?
Just Afghanistan. Gotcha. So you grew up from an early age knowing exactly what you wanted to do.
Absolutely.
I was one of those kids. I don't remember exactly when it set in, but it set in at a pretty early age that I wanted to be a cop. And it wasn't due to, high ACE scores or anything like that. Maybe just too much Scooby-Doo. Trying to solve the mystery. I always had that in mind. My dad, welder. His dad, welder. But his dad also drove a tank across Italy during World War II.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, he was a tank commander and carried a 35-millimeter camera with him. Got some amazing photographs. German officers coming into town in Levico, Italy to sign surrender papers and shit like that. But growing up, my dad, he, as a welder, working hot steel and stuff like that, construction and whatnot, he would see guys die on the job all the time. So he wanted me and my brothers to do something safer and didn't teach us welding. So both my older brothers were in the military, and I was a cop. And all of us have almost died in some way or another, So I always kind of laugh about that. But the decision to be of service, it stems from a lot of things.
Selfless service was very important to me. It was something that I was a Boy Scout and all that good stuff. And my father, again, that's my hero. Like, plain and simple, there is no man that will ever cast a shadow to him. He's 10 foot tall and bulletproof. He's 68. He's slowing down a little bit, but he's still a legend to me. Like, growing up, one of the things that was pounded into us is you never judge a man by the color of his skin, who he calls God, or his sex. It's all about the content of his character. And
Absolutely.
that's just how I've always been, and that's the way my family has always been. And my mom was the protector. We lost her in January of 2024 to cancer, but
sorry.
I was very lucky to say, like, I hit the lotto when it came to parents. Like, my mom and dad were my best friends my whole life. Even though I was the black sheep of the family. I was the baby. I have an older brother and an older sister. And my brother went to West Point. My sister, she went to OU because we were living in Oklahoma. I never even took the ACT. Like, I literally signed. My dad had to sign for me on my 17th birthday for me to join the Army. Like, I knew what I was going to do. And I planned on being a lifer. But unfortunately, some other things ended up happening, and had to make a different career path.
and we'll definitely kind of peel back the layers of that as we go along here. I did want to touch on, family values real quick. Lifeline Project.
Very simple. Do not lie, do not cheat, do not steal.
There you go. Right. And those are some of the lessons that we learn early on in life. And it factors into what we do here at Warriors Heart with that Lifeline Project. You got to put the positive family values, family rules, positive family members, and then the negatives as well. And some of us from the jump, right? Some people that come through here have very negative on either side, but you had the positive influence, which is huge, right? And our family,
And see, growing up in a military family, it was, never showed weakness, never, always failure was not acceptable. Like, in my family, we weren't allowed to get C's. C's are average, and Roystons are not average. That's the way that, it was always beat into us. And when I say beat into us, I don't mean like my dad physically beat us. Like,
you drill it into you.
Correct. And my dad was a drill sergeant for 6 years. He loved yelling at privates so much.
Oh, boy. But that was fun growing up.
Oh, it's tons.
Yeah.
But again, I never got a hand put on me out of anger. Never, ever.
That's good.
Every whooping I got, I deserved. I probably should have gotten a whole lot more.
Well, why infantry? Now, was that your
My
first
dad.
choice? Yeah.
My dad was infantry, so I wanted to be just like him.
Okay. Some people join the military with grand illusions. I want to be a SEAL, I want to be a bomber pilot, whatever. Yours was infantry, which is the backbone, right? It's the backbone of the military. So that's what you shot for early on.
I didn't even, they were like, you can do this job. I said, nope, infantry. I want infantry. That's it.
That's easy. You know what you want. You know what you're going to do. Where'd you go to basic?
Fort Benning, Georgia. Got to do a wonderful 14 weeks there.
Yeah. Gotcha. So what was early Army life like for you?
I graduated from basic training and AIT because infantry, it's OSAT. So you do it all together. You do basic and your advanced individual training in one group. It's 14 weeks. I graduated on March the 3rd of 2006. I went to Fort Drum, New York that night. I was in Afghanistan March 21st. My whole brigade had already been together for 2 years training together, and they had been in Afghanistan for a month. I was what they called a late deployer. So I was the turd in the punch bowl. Like, basic training in AIT, you just learn the bare minimum of soldiering. Like, I'd worn nods, night vision twice, and then the 21st, I'm linking up with my platoon in Afghanistan less than 3 weeks out of basic and AIT, not knowing anything. And these guys that are all with me, they're studs. Like, they know every weapon system. They know the nods. They know the trucks. They know the radios. And I don't know shit.
So say that again to make sure I got the time frame right. From the time that you got to basic to the time you got to Afghanistan was how long again?
I went to basic in November of 2005, graduated March 3rd. I went to Fort Drum, New York that night, March 3rd, the day that I graduated. I deployed to Afghanistan. I think it was March 14th or 15th.
Wow.
And then I was with my platoon March 21st.
That's fast.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned Bastogne. You know, you look back at Band of Brothers, and those guys were training together for 2 years before they even went overseas. And you were like that.
And I was the replacement. I was the turd in the punch bowl. Like I was the cherry, as I was referred to for a while.
Hell of a way to cut your teeth, man.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
But that's also the best way in some ways.
On-the-job training was the best thing for me.
In a lot of industries are like that, and a lot of services like that. Law enforcement, you know, the academy I went to was 8 weeks, I think. Physically, it was a joke. I mean, well, anyway, a whole other story. But, you know, short amount of time, 2 to 3 months in the academy, tops, with most law enforcement. And then they go to the field training officer, which is like AIT, right? And learn why you're doing, and then you're cut loose on your own, right? So kind of the same process, I guess, just time frame. It's always a little bit different. But one way or another, you're going to get that on-the-job training because that's the best way to learn, especially from the dudes that have been there, done that. I
can't tell you how many times I heard "Pay attention, Cherry, or you're gonna get me killed." And I'm just like, please stop saying that. Like I'm already nervous enough. Like, but again, it was one of those things that I feel is extremely beneficial for me.
Yeah. Now, as far as personal life is concerned, a lot of the guys I talk to on this podcast or the High Speed Chicken Feed podcast. I always try to mention that to give myself a little, you know, promotion, right? Anyway, they talk about, you know, got married right before I deployed, you know, had a girlfriend, kid, you know, whatever. Was any of that a factor in your life? I mean, you were young back then.
I was single.
Yeah?
I was single, no kids. And to be perfectly honest, like, I was trying to get killed in Afghanistan so that, like, my dad could have that, my son paid, you know, he gave his life for his country. Like, I had screwed up so much already in life doing dumb stuff that I thought that would be my way of redemption. And thankfully it didn't happen. But it was one of those things that in my mind, I was like, I will volunteer or do anything dangerous to try to take myself out of the fight, I guess you could say, so that my father could have that, to be like, yeah, my son paid. And
to have an honorable death.
Absolutely.
A glorified death.
Absolutely. To die for something. To go out with my boots on.
I'm going to pick at that a little bit, but pump the brakes anytime you want, because I know it can be difficult. I can relate to that a lot, but at the end of my career, right? At the end of my career, I was struggling, I was suffering, and I had the exact same mindset. And I've told people before, I was suicidal on duty. If you see that last pursuit and shooting I was in, which was in 2015, a couple years before the end, I was taking some wild chances, you know, lots of risk involved in that pursuit. But I was kind of the same mindset of, you know, if I die in the line of duty, it's the best thing that could happen, you know, because I was struggling mentally, you know, all the stuff that I'd seen, all the stuff that I had done, the way I destroyed myself, family, you know, all the negative things that come along with our service. And if I could check out in the line of duty, my wife gets paid, you know, gets a pension, you know, for the rest of life.
That's the way I saw it.
Kids get, you know, education for free. I get the big funeral, and I'm remembered as a hero, right? Because what do most people think when we think of suicide? You know, a coward's way out, which is a whole other conversation. But I was very much like that, but it was after a lot of stuff had set in on the job. This is completely up to you, but was there something kind of fueling that mindset?
I felt like a failure up until I had actually got to Afghanistan and linked up with my platoon. Like, I felt like I had let my family name down because I didn't go to college, or I hadn't been as successful as my brother and my sister. They both worked very hard, got good grades. Like, my brother is genius smart, like 35 out of 36 on his ACT, like super smart dude. My sister, like, if I called my sister right now and said, Lauren, I figured out what I want to do with the rest of my life, she'd be like, what is it? Be like, I'm going to be a serial killer. She'd be like, you go be the best damn serial killer you can, little brother. Like, no matter what, she's always supported me and had my back. And that's why I say I'm very lucky when it came to family. Like, my entire family has always been there for me, no matter what.
So the little voice was in your ear.
Mm-hmm.
The negative self-talk was there from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we know what that does to us later on in our career, but it was there from the beginning for you. Wow. So you made it through Afghanistan, right? You made it through deployment. Some bad stuff happened over there. And if I understand correctly, that led to the fentanyl. Or not the fentanyl necessarily, but it led to the pain medicine, yeah?
I had a bad day, got medevaced out of country, and Army doctors were prescribing me pain pills. The civilian doctors the Army was sending me to was also giving me pain pills because this is 2007, so the computers aren't linked.
Yeah.
So you could have 10 different doctors giving you the same script at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I had one doctor give me 180 perk 10s a month and another one give me 180 perk 10s a month.
Wow.
Which I can take 10 a day
Mm-hmm.
with that. And then there was a group of us that were all staying in one room that throughout the deployment got hurt some way or another or got sent home early. And all these guys were taking pain pills. And we would just lock ourselves in our room pretty much and just drink and take pain pills.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it snowballed very quickly because it numbed all that trauma I'd just gone through in Afghanistan and then some childhood trauma that I had had. Nothing like as far as like being beaten or anything like that, but I lost some friends like from car wrecks and stuff like that. And the opiates just numbed everything. And it turned down that hypervigilance that was very high since I had just gotten back from Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up getting myself in trouble. I got kicked out the Army.
Mm-hmm.
I got a couple of field grade Article 15s over a 10-day period.
Mm.
I got general honorable, which I don't lie about. I tell everyone the truth. I have nothing to lie about when it comes to this stuff. I made a mistake. That was it.
It happens to the best of us. It happens to a lot of people. Shit, I tell people I'm retired law enforcement, but I was terminated. I was fired. And when I was fired, I was told you can apply for disability, which, you know, I got through our pension fund, so I'm retired. But truth be told, yeah, I was terminated. And I'm open about that too, you know. It happens. And when we get in our head like that and when we start introducing the substances, lots of bad things can happen. Now, question though, did you hold a resentment against the military for that?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Because I didn't want to leave, but it was an NCO that was pushing to try to get me out. And I still, where it says make amends unless it will cause harm to yourself or to others, that's one of those ones that if I ever saw that guy, I couldn't make amends to him.
Yeah?
I couldn't. Not right now anyway. Maybe a year, 2 years, but not at this point in my recovery. Like, I still hold that grudge against him because I could still be in the Army. I could still be in the Army today had that guy not had such a bone to pick with me.
True. And, you know, we could
But
get
coulda, woulda, shoulda.
we could get lost in the weeds on that. Absolutely. Because, you know, I kind of felt the same way about the sheriff's office for a long time. How dare they fire me because I got sick? But working with my sponsor on that, what part did you have to play in that? Right. Well, they didn't fire the guy that they hired. They fired the addict and alcoholic asshole that I had become, right? So I had to work through that resentment. But at the same time, looking back, man, if they hadn't terminated me, my ass would either be dead or in a federal prison somewhere, I guarantee you, because there was times when, you know, I had pills in my system when I was behind the wheel. You know, it could have very easily have gone very sour for me, you know, so I look back on it as a blessing. And when I look back on it as a blessing, I can forgive those people that I feel wronged me. That's a whole other AA conversation, of course, but it kind of ties into what we're talking about here.
That's the only grudge I still hold.
Yeah.
That's the only one.
You know, if as a sponsor, I'm going to say, well, that's where we got to start working, Cale.
I understand.
That's where we got to start working.
I understand.
And make a living amends. But you're doing that. You are making a living amends.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, the brotherhood, though. I mean, you mentioned already, you were going to be a lifer in the military.
The worst thing for me was letting that platoon down. Like, my welcome to the infantry moment, I had hurt my ankle when I was in Afghanistan, and we rolled into Kandahar, and we were supposed to refit all the trucks, ammo, get all of our heavy weapon systems going, all that stuff. And I was supposed to go to medical and get checked out right quick and come straight back. The whole company was waiting on me. I'm still brand new to the Army. I'm like, they're not going to wait around for old PFC Royston. Like, they'll just roll out without me. I'm going to go get a massage. So it's on the massive Kandahar base. Like, it was like an American city. Like, they have Burger King, Pizza Hut, like massage parlors. So I'm in there getting a massage, and I hear, Royston, are you in here? And I was like, shit. I was like, Roger Sarnt. He's like, you're done. Let's go. I get dressed. I walk out, and he looks at me and goes, your dad's a first sergeant? I was like, Roger. And he goes, your brother's a West Pointer. I was like, Roger. He goes, are you adopted? And I was like, that's not the first, second, or 10th time I've heard that in my life, Sergeant. And he goes, you think this is funny? He's like, you realize the entire company is waiting on Private Royston. You used to embarrass your platoon, your squad, your team, and me. And in that moment, I felt about that big.
Yeah.
And that was my welcome to the infantry moment. And I told myself I'd never let those guys down again. And in Afghanistan, I didn't. It wasn't until I got back to garrison that I screwed up royally. And losing that brotherhood was what really drove me deeply into the pills, because being a part of that brotherhood, it's something extremely special, just like being part of this brotherhood. Like, it's an unbreakable bond. But with what happened with me, like, probably half my platoon didn't even talk to me for several years. Mm-hmm. And then once suicides started happening or overdoses started happening and stuff like that, then other guys getting out started realizing, hey, you know, maybe he was just trying to deal with his trauma. And now that I'm seeing things from his light, like, let me call him, let me reach out to him. Mm-hmm. And now I'm on good terms with everybody in my platoon.
Nice.
All the ones that are still alive.
I kind of had the similar, experience, after I got sober and started doing stuff like this. I reconnected with some of the people that I used to work with at the sheriff's office, some of which I held grudges against, and was able to kind of make amends and put that to bed. Mm-hmm. Extremely healing to be able to do that, you know?
It was. It gave me, again, it's helped me with my peace.
Now, kind of what you've been talking about here is it illustrates some of the stuff that we go through in our addiction, but also in our recovery. We talk about moral injury. We talk about shame, guilt, remorse, and stuff like that. Shame is, I'm a bad person. Guilt is, I've done something bad. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we have every bit of that. And you kind of outlined, a little bit of shame. I'm a bad person because I let my platoon down, right? Get a massage before I go out on deployment, which doesn't make you a bad person. You just made a mistake. But the way we process it, especially when it's drilled into us, unit before self, right? So it just kind of makes it worse. So you exit the Army. What was life like then? What was the plan, if you had one?
May 25th, 2007 will always be one of the worst days of my life. My home record was Oklahoma, so they had to fly me from, I was in Fort Drum, New York, to Oklahoma. I was fine up until my dad picked me up from the airport. As soon as I saw him, I just broke. And I think that's when it really set in. That I didn't just let my platoon down. I let my family down, myself down. Mm-hmm. And I felt that I would never recover from it. And the only thing that gave me any type of comfort was the pills. And that's why I just dove deeper and deeper into it. And I was on them for 15 years. And it would, depending on how many I could get or what I could get, I would take 20 or 30 perk 10s a day. And like how my liver and kidneys and everything else, like, the doctors are literally like, I don't understand it. Like, as healthy as you are with what you've done to your body and everything you've gone through, like, it's incredible.
Now, we don't have to go into the full story of, the incident that happened. We've all seen the movies. We know the drill. But as far as the physical injury, was there a specific physical injury?
I screwed up my pelvis, my hips, and I herniated the lower 5 disc in my back.
That's significant.
Yeah.
That is significant. And, of course, that does lead to pain management, pain medicine, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But for anybody that's never been there, that don't really understand what we're talking about here. I was on pain pills myself,
Mm-hmm.
Perk 10s for years. I'd go through at the worst, probably about 90 a month.
Mm-hmm.
This was a little bit later time frame, and the laws were beginning to change, right? But I go through about 90 a month. Actually, I take that back. It was my second time I broke my back was in 06, and then the major abdominal surgery 06, 07, so it was all around that same time frame roughly. But later on, it continued with other injuries and illness and whatnot, so it never really the pain pills were there from that time on. But you know how the law has changed and everything. But when you take and this is not an invitation for somebody to go try it, obviously, but when you take those pain pills, man, it just wraps you up like a warm blanket.
Mm-hmm.
Makes everything feel better.
I didn't care about anything.
Yeah.
Like it, and for me, like I would drink to kick them in and make them like get the full effect of it. And I'd be drinking and driving and be loaded on pills. And how I never killed myself or anyone else, it's a miracle, plain and simple.
There's a reason for that, but we're going to end on that.
Okay.
We'll get back to that. Yeah, it's and I'm very honest with people when I share my story, and you probably heard me share it,
Mm-hmm.
After I got the colostomy bag removed, I was in the office and shit all over myself just trying to fart.
Yep.
And when I got back in the car, those pills were there, and they made me feel better. I wasn't physically in pain, but, man, they made me feel better about life. Felt like nothing really mattered. I was just wrapped up in that warm blanket. That's how quickly that shit can start, especially when you're dealing with some heavy-duty trauma. And you were dealing with some heavy-duty fucking trauma from what happened in Afghanistan, the end of your career, family, everything else. That's a lot.
And I bounced around for several years, living out of a duffel bag, sleeping on couches. Like, I didn't really want to go home because I didn't want to face my family because I was so embarrassed. And I had shame and guilt, just like what we were talking about. And I ended up moving to New Orleans, and New Orleans is a mecca of drugs.
Yeah, that's not a place to heal or recover.
At all. And all it did was just give me more access. And I was there until 2016. And for that time, every day, there was not a day I did not take a pill.
Were you working? Were you on the streets?
I was working. I was doing termite and pest control.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally had free access because I would do like high-rise buildings of senior citizens who I would open their medicine cabinets, and if their pill bottle was a certain amount old and there was still a certain amount in there, I would help myself because it had gotten so bad.
Yeah.
It had gotten so bad that's what I'd started doing, because if I couldn't find them anywhere, I knew eventually at one of these houses or these apartments I'm going into today, I'll find something. And it got to the point to where I just couldn't do it no more. And I was just like, look, I want to try to get some help, because several people had said, hey, man, you got a problem, you need help. And the thing was, about every other time I had done treatment, every time someone else told me I needed help, I needed treatment. That when I came through the gate this time, I said I wanted help. And that's why I truly believe this is the time that I've actually been able to maintain sobriety, or been able to be a better person in life, be the person I should have been before the addiction really took over.
Yeah, and that's the only way it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to explore that. But let me ask this question real quick. As far as the pain pills from the doctors in the military, we've talked about that in the other podcasts and this podcast with a lot of people about the opioid epidemic, the medicine epidemic with the VA. Just pills, 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 pills. It's fucking everywhere. It's pills. They have side effects.
Isolate.
Medicate and isolate. It's terrible. When you were initially prescribed this medicine, did anybody talk to you about addiction?
No.
About maintenance, about pain management, any of that shit?
They were giving me the Percocets, they were giving me Ambien, they were giving me Lunesta, they were giving me Seroquel, they were giving me just all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff.
And what that does, one, to your physical body is atrocious, but the environment that it creates in your system and how it interacts with your brain and the person that you become, it's not Cale Royston, it's some other dude. It's not Robert Greer, some other dude.
Dude, I ballooned up to 300 pounds.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, I literally keep that picture to look at it to be like, this is why we're running today. Like,
I think I was at 285 at my heaviest, you know? I'm 225 now, but still, I was pretty close to it. Yeah, and that'll do it to you. You know, because the pain pills, you know, it shuts your system down a lot. You get backed up, plus, you know, eating and everything else. That was one of the things that, you know, we mentioned tricks, and not that we're giving anybody any advice, but, you know, making the pills that much better, whether it's alcohol or other drugs. Especially with me, if I take a pill, I would eat something really greasy and fatty, and that would make it heightened. And of course, what does the greasy and fattened food do? Make you fat. So did any of the doctors at the VA ever go any of this stuff with you?
No.
Or just, here's your prescription, here's your prescription?
Never asked me a single word. Never was like, have you ever had a problem with these? Nothing like literally the first doctor I saw at the VA goes, what pills do you want? Like, that was his exact words.
And what do we think?
And of course, I'm like, well, shit, give me this, and I'll take some of these. Like,
yeah.
And he's like, all right, you can pick these up in the pharmacy. I'll put in your refills, and they'll come in the mail.
And it's not like I'm buying them on the street. This doctor with a medical degree just prescribed it to me. I'm supposed to take this. It's okay. It's good.
And the thing is, all this stuff I was taking, like, it was destroying the chemical makeup of my brain. And that's why, like, when I was here, I stopped taking all pills. Like, I don't take pills for anything, like, at all for anymore. And it's very rare I'll even take an ibuprofen because I was making bad decisions in life. My brain makes my decisions. I had screwed up my chemical makeup so bad between my time in the military, fights, car wrecks, falls off roofs, abusing drugs for 20 years. Like, I need to give my brain a chance to actually heal.
Yeah.
And because it's for me doing treatment so much, they say, okay, if you've abused a drug for 20 years, it's going to take 10 years for your brain's chemical makeup to return back to what it should have been or as close to what it could be. And for me, I'm more than fine with that. Like, I have a chance now.
Yeah.
Before I walked through that gate, like, when I came through on March 11th, I didn't think this was going to work. Like, I was willing to give it a try because if I didn't, I knew I was going to either be dead or in prison because everyone I knew that was using fentanyl was dead or in prison.
Let me ask this. How and when did it transfer from the pain pills to the fentanyl?
I was here, and I came here in March of 2021, left at the end of April. I finished the program. I drove 7.5 hours straight to the pill guy's house, bought pills, and then went home to my family. Hey, I'm clean, I'm sober. And that lasted probably about 3 months, and they were getting harder to get.
So you couldn't get the doctor prescription anymore?
No.
You couldn't, the VA wasn't?
Because everything, anything that my name pops up on, it says narcotic seeker, opiate addict. Like,
you were labeled.
Clear as day, which it was 100% true. I would try to go to the ER and make something up, my back, or I got a kidney stone or something like that, just to try to get a script because I was sick. But at that time, like, with everything that was going on, I felt I had to have that medicine or I couldn't be normal. Like, I wasn't even getting high anymore. I had to have it just to function. And what ended up happening is when I left here, I was on pain pills for about 3 months, and I hid this from my family for 4 years. I was on pain pills for about 3 months, and this is when the fake Roxys started coming around and becoming very prevalent, which is the pressed fentanyl pills. They were cheaper and easier to get, and from the first time I took one, that was a wrap. I was hooked.
Oof.
And I took those for probably about 3 months, and then it switched to raw fentanyl, and I started smoking it. And I hid that. Again, I hid it from everyone for 4 years. Like, no one knew.
When you came in that first time, why? Why did you come in?
Family pressure.
Family pressure. They wanted you to get clean and sober. Not Cale.
No.
Family.
I came here to appease them.
And did it work?
No.
No.
Not even a little bit.
Which we keep
I
saying,
stayed here.
right?
I kept my head down and my mouth shut. Didn't say a fucking word.
Yeah.
And it was 100% on me. Like, I knew literally the moment I pulled out the gate, I called him and was like, hey, I'm on my way to your house. Come grab some pills. And he was like, all right, man, I'll see you shortly.
Fuck. Yeah. It happens that way. You know, if we're not doing it for ourselves, I mean, we keep saying it, we keep screaming it. You have to do it for you, not anybody else. You know, if you want to go check a box, go to some other facility to check that box.
And I tried to quit for a year. I tried to quit fentanyl for a year by myself, and I couldn't. And that's February 18th of 2025. I tried to swallow all my fentanyl and just kill myself because I was like, I'm going to die a junkie anyway. Like, I might as well pick when I go. It didn't work. I woke up, and then February 20th, I'm dope sick because I don't have anything. And the half-life of fentanyl is a lot shorter than heroin or Percocet, so your sickness kicks in a lot faster. So February 20th, I'm sick, and again, my family doesn't know. And, like, I've gone through withdrawal multiple times around them, and they're trying to give me, like, cough medicine and stuff like that, but they don't know I'm withdrawing. I'm not, like, I don't have a cold or COVID or something. Whenever February 20th came, I finally just said, I'm going to tell them the truth. Like, they're all going to hate me. They might leave me, but at least I'll have a chance to try to get my life back.
Mm-hmm.
And when I told them the truth, they're upset and disappointed, as they should be. And they didn't trust me, which I completely get. And I've never said, hey, I went to treatment. You need to forgive me. You need to get over it. I've never said that to any of them. Mm-hmm. Whenever they're ready, they're ready. Like, that's not my choice.
Right.
Like, I know I screwed up big time. And I know this is 100% my choice, and I take accountability 100%. When I told them the truth, they were mad, but I told them, look, I know I screwed up, but I want help. Like, I need to get help. And I ended up going through a detox for 7 days and then trying to get into here. But the Oklahoma VA isn't a big fan of sending us to Warriors Heart. I and you were my admissions guy, you and Ingrid. Mm-hmm. And again, you kept texting me being like, hold on, man, I'm working everything from my end. Like, I'm trying to contact them. I'm talking to them. And I was finally able to get it put in community care. And as soon as it got put in community care, you snatched me up and I was on my way. And I'd relapse, of course. And it should have taken me about 7.5, 8 hours to get here. It took me about 16 because I kept pulling off and getting high. Mm-hmm. I drove from Oklahoma to Texas with a gun, weed, fentanyl, Xanax, and alcohol. And I even hit someone at Buc-ee's. And the thing was, I didn't even remember it.
Really?
What ended up happening was the day that I graduated and they brought me my truck, there's a big piece missing off the front of it. And I was like, what did y'all do to my truck? And they were like, that's how it was when it came in. I was like, no, it wasn't. That was a brand new truck. And they were like, well, go get the intake photos. And they showed it to me. And I was like, what the hell? I ended up stopping at that Buc-ee's in Austin, and the memory came back to me.
Really?
And the guy had a trailer hitch on his truck, and I just nodded off while I was driving and hit his trailer hitch, and it only did damage to my truck.
Wow.
So he was like, oh, I'm not worried about it, man. Go ahead and go. Like, if he would have called the cops,
you'd have been done.
That's it.
Wow. Small miracles, man.
That's what I'm saying. My dad says God looks out for idiots and fools.
Yes, he does. All the times that we should have been dead. And I know you know the stories too, mm-hmm. Sitting in the group room with this group of people. Mm-hmm. Holy shit. From our service and from the fallout, mm-hmm. right? All the times that we should have been dead. I remember sitting around thinking, are we in like a superhero academy? Because all these motherfuckers should have been dead a long time ago, me included.
Yep.
Why are we still here? Because our mission ain't over.
I believe that.
You know?
100%.
We still got some work to do.
That's why I keep coming back, because I keep trying to tell these guys, look, man, like when I came to that gate, I promise you, I was so broken. I was so scared. I was so lonely. Like, I never thought that I would be anything other than a loser junkie.
Oh, yeah.
And it was because of the brotherhood here that picked me up. Like, my detox was extremely tough. Like, the detox staff especially Penny and Steve. They were my guardian angels. They literally went out of their way to try to keep giving me positive words and to try to keep just saying, hang on, just give it a little bit more time, give it a little bit more time.
Mm-hmm.
And because I was a fentanyl user, we avoid cops like the plague.
Go figure.
So my first week in RTC, right at the end of it, a state trooper, the counselor walked in for our icebreaker. She said, all right, I want you to give one of your fellow warriors a compliment. The state trooper of 27 years was the first one that went. I hadn't even talked to this guy, never looked at him or anything. And he looked right at me and he goes, man, I just want you to know how proud of you I am. And I was like, what? And immediately, like, tears just started coming out of my face. And I'm like, what? And he goes, I've gone to classes on fentanyl. I've seen it ruin people's lives. I've seen overdoses. I've seen all the withdrawal that people go through, and I've seen what you've gone through over the last 2 weeks. I just want you to know I'm proud of you for sticking through this. And the thing was, he wasn't the only one that said that to me in that group.
Wow.
And it was multiple guys that did that. And that was the start of that perspective change of this thing that I had so much guilt and shame and embarrassment about. Now that I'm on the other side of it and I'm actually trying to fight this war and win it, I have pride in it and I'm proud of it. And I'm very proud to have 15 months. Like, I know you're not supposed to soapbox it, but like, for me, I never thought I'd be able to say that ever.
Acceptance is the key.
Mm-hmm.
There's somewhere in the big book where it says that, page 418, 420, somewhere in that area, right? Acceptance is the key. Accepting who we are and accepting people's compliments about us. Man, that's hard. But that encapsulates perfectly warriors healing warriors.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it happens. Now, we're going to dive into a whole lot of the good stuff here.
All right.
But first, I'm going to step out of the room for just a minute. Quick commercial break brought to you by the High Speed Chicken Feed Podcast, corporate sponsor. Let's see if she edits that out. All right, so short break. Appreciate that. We're back on the record. Let me ask you something. You talked about the moment when you were just done with it. You were tired of being a junkie. You were tired of being who you were, and you really wanted to heal for yourself. You wanted to get your life back. Was there something specific that motivated you at that moment?
About a month before I tried to kill myself, my habit had gotten so bad that I would have to wake up in the middle of the night to smoke, or whenever I woke up, I'd be sick.
Mm-hmm.
And one night I smoked too much and I fell asleep on the toilet. I woke up to my girl screaming, I need to use the bathroom. And it startled me awake. And when I opened my eyes and looked down, the foil was at my feet and the straw was right next to me. And I tried to stand up, but I couldn't because my legs were asleep.
Yeah.
But we had these shelves right next to the toilet that I was able to pull myself up and grab the foil and crumple it up and throw it behind the water heater and then stand on the straw while I'm holding myself up. She came in behind me and peed. And as I'm standing there, hold myself up, standing on that straw, and again, no one in my family knows I'm using, I just start crying. And at 20, I'm in combat doing incredible shit. And then at 40, I'm just a loser junkie.
Yeah.
And then whenever I tried to kill myself and it didn't work, I said, okay, I'm still supposed to be here. Like, I still have purpose. I didn't want my dad to have to bury me. I didn't want him to have to tell people he lost his fight with addiction. I wanted to find peace. I wanted to be happy without substances. And I would look at people and be like, I wonder what it was like to be them, to be normal.
Yeah.
To not have this horrible addiction that I can't talk to anyone about, that I'm trying to fight alone, and that it's not working. I'm losing this battle, and I don't think I can win this. And I was like, but I know I don't want to die. Like, I tried to die, and when I woke up, I was like, thank God that didn't work. And it was at that point that I was like, all right, like I want help. Like I want to be a better person. I want to be that person I was before all this started.
Yeah. You're tired of dying, and you know you got fight in you because you were born into it.
Mm-hmm.
You were a fighter. All of us were, in our careers. We know how to fight. And when we're tired of dying, it's time to stand up and fight. That's when you better watch out because things are going to change.
And that was it. I knew if I could get through that first week of detox, I knew I had a chance.
Yeah.
And then once I got through that first week of RTC, that first 2 weeks here was the hardest 2 weeks of my life. And I've been homeless in Afghanistan, been in jail, or I've been homeless in New Orleans, been in Afghanistan, basic training, all kinds of stuff. Nothing compared to that first 2 weeks here.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that the staff or the brotherhood or anything like that was not trying to make me as comfortable as possible. I always tell people, Warrior's Heart makes you as comfortable as possible in an uncomfortable situation.
Lots of truth to that. Hell of a lot of truth to that.
And that's exactly what everyone was doing by trying to pick me up and try to speak positivity into me, literally speak life into me and be like, hey, man, just hang on one more day. Just give it one more day. And after that first week of RTC, I was like, I'm done. Like my 7th day of detox, I was supposed to be on a 12-day taper to help with the withdrawal. I quit on the 4th day. And then I quit taking all the pills, like sleeping pills, everything. I was like, I need to let my brain heal. My brain is what's making all these bad decisions. Like, I'm done with all this stuff. Like, I'd rather just go ahead and get it out of the way. And you would see me on the track every day walking, just walking and walking and walking, sweating all that stuff out of me. And that's what I needed to do. And it was because of CR. It was you. It was the staff here. It was the brotherhood. Like, Warrior's Heart saved my life.
Yeah. And you mentioned Steve and Penny in the medical unit that were really just your rocks.
If they hadn't been there, I wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
Like, without a doubt, Steve, Penny, and Alicia. Steve and Penny were there mostly. And Steve would come in there and just try to talk to me. I'm not a religious person, and I respect everyone's right to believe whatever they want. And Steve would even come in there and talk to me about God, and I'd listen. And at that point, I didn't have faith in anything. But Steve saw something in me that I didn't see. And that's why he took that extra time to try to be like, hey, man, eat something. Hey, man, try this. Because he knows exactly what I was going through, exactly what I was feeling. And he was trying to do everything he could to make sure I didn't quit and leave before I gave it a chance. And Penny was so sweet to me, even though I was such a jerk. Because, again, I was so sick. I had C. diff. I'm withdrawn from fentanyl. And, again, if they pretty much had to take care of me like I was a baby.
Yeah.
I won't go into graphic detail or anything, but I was so weak because I couldn't eat. I couldn't drink anything because it was coming out of both ends. I didn't eat. My first meal I ate was on my 10th day here.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Like, I dropped 20 pounds in detox. Like, I was absolutely miserable.
Which illustrates how detrimental all this shit is to our systems, you know? It's amazing that we can survive that stuff.
Like, that first 7 days was probably the most uncomfortable 7 days of my life.
How did you first find Warrior's Heart? I know this was your second time around. The first time when you were here, how did you find Warrior's Heart? Just
Facebook ad.
Facebook ad, yeah?
It literally, I was on Facebook, and this thing came up saying Warrior's Heart Treatment Center, and I had done treatment multiple times to the VA, which it's a joke. Like, those domiciliaries are just full of child molesters and people that want to get off the street. That's it. And it's very hard to try to be open and honest around people that you don't want to be open and honest around. And that's why I felt like all those programs were never going to work. And once I looked into Warrior's Heart and saw that this was completely different than anything the VA ever offered, and it had such a good structured program, I knew the only way I'd have a chance at beating this thing is coming back to Warriors Heart. And that's why the VA originally this time tried to send me to Sheridan, Wyoming. And I was like, I'm not going. I was like, it's Warriors Heart or nothing. And I had to advocate for myself, which I tell guys all the time. I was like, look, you have to stand up for yourself. Like, they're going to try to fight you on this. You have to stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
And with the help of you and Ingrid and the people here, I was able to get back in. And with the help of the staff, the Brotherhood, and everyone else, I was able to take my life back.
What was the hardest part about it when you came back this time?
They had to open the gate twice because I was so embarrassed and I had so much shame. Like, he opened the gate and I sat there and he goes, you can go ahead. And I literally just started crying. Gate closed and he opened it back up and he goes, you can go in. And I was like, just give me 1 second. And when I came back in, I was just crying the whole time. Came, checked in. They go through all my stuff. And the guy goes, when's the last time you used your drug of choice? And I was like, 30 minutes ago. And he goes, what's your drug of choice? I said, fentanyl. And he goes, what? And he's like, how are you standing? And I was like, because I don't get high off it anymore. I just don't get sick. And literally the last place I used was in that church parking lot right down the road.
Yeah.
I pulled into there, sat there for about 30 minutes, cried, smoked the last of my stuff, and then came to the gate.
And what you're illustrating there is something that we see quite often. Not everybody gets it perfect on the first go-around. In fact, most don't. And they have a lot of shame, of coming back through the place that was promised to help them, It's a very real reality. And when you're in that phase, that's all you can see. You can't see the other side of it. We're all standing there saying, come on, man, you're still in the fight. There's no shame in this. We know it's a bag full of motherfuckers to get clear of this stuff. We know it's a difficult fight. We don't hold that against you. So long as you're trying, hold your head high and come on in. You may be a mess, but hold your head high and come in.
And see, my pride was part of the problem because I would always try to focus on my drug problem. And they'd be like, all right, let's talk about your traumas. And I'd be like, no, I'm good. Like, I've got that under control. I don't need to talk about that. But I was using the drugs to numb those traumas.
So you didn't have it under control?
No, not even a little
Lying to yourself the
100%.
whole time. Yeah.
And that's why it never took. And that's why as soon as I left whatever facility I was at, I would go right back to it.
You mentioned the trooper that told you, I'm proud of you, and the impact it had on you. And we talk about Warriors Healing Warriors right there. What was it that made you finally let go of those traumas and open up and just let that wound gush out everywhere, just expel all that vile stuff? What was there anything in particular?
That 7 days I was in detox, I spent with fluids coming out of every orifice on my body. Like, once all the drugs were out of my system, all those traumas were just punching me in the face. Like, everything that I tried to not think about, everything I tried to compartmentalize and just lock away and pretend it didn't happen, that's all I could think about. And I knew at that point I had to start talking about them, and I had to start putting that out there. And one of the major ones was a really good friend of mine. He overdosed on fentanyl, and he was decorated for valor in combat, like absolute stud. And when he died, it crushed me, absolutely crushed me. And I still used for 2 years after that. And it was one of those things that I'm sitting there telling myself, man, you're never going to get off this stuff. This is never going to work. Like, you're sitting here carrying a casket loaded on fentanyl of your best friend that just died from this stuff.
Yeah.
And eventually when I came through this time, though, it was one of those things that I knew if I didn't talk about it, I would leave the gate and go right back to it. I know
Absolutely.
And that's why I knew this time I had to do it completely different than I'd done every other time. And instead of just sitting there and keep them, and I tell people, I said, the only way this is going to work is if you open your fucking mouth. And it's like, if you just sit there and keep your mouth closed and don't say anything, you will go right back to it, I promise.
They kept telling me you got to feel it to heal it.
Mm-hmm.
I hate cliches. Sounded stupid, whatever. Eventually I learned what that meant. If you're numbing out from it, you're not feeling it, you're never going to heal it. And what you just said just really personifies that in a large way. You just kept pushing it down with the drugs, same as the rest of us. Drugs and alcohol, just keep pushing it down, forget about it. That's how we manage it. That's how we deal with it. And eventually it'll go away. Does it ever go away?
No.
Fuck no, it doesn't. And as soon as you
still healing.
You're still healing. And as soon as you take those numbing agents away, hey, here I am. Time to deal with me, right?
I tell people, Warrior's Heart, it's impossible for me to heal, 20 years of trauma in 42 days. But Warrior's Heart gives you the best head start on being able to heal.
And when you started opening up about it for real this time, how did it feel?
At first, it was very hard. Very hard, because I didn't want people to judge me. That's what I was scared of, was people thinking I was weak, or, oh, he's not a man, or he's a pussy, he's a coward. All that stuff never happened once.
We tell ourselves that. But would we say that would you say that to me?
No.
Exactly. And I wouldn't say it to you either, but we'd say it to ourselves, and that's what keeps us in that damn shell.
And as soon as I finally opened my mouth and started speaking, I couldn't stop.
Yeah.
And it became routine that I would make myself, no matter what, I would talk in every group. I would not, even if it was just something small and insignificant, I would make sure in every single group I was in that I was not only participating and paying attention, but I would also make sure I said something in every single group.
It's how you get that out. You get a cut on your arm. It gets infected. It's full of pus. It's burning. It's aching. It's going to kill you, right? Well, how do you solve that? Well, yeah, you take some antibiotics, but you also open that up and squeeze that shit out. Get it out of your body, and you begin to heal that way. Same thing with this stuff here. It seems weird, right? But that's the only way it's going to work.
And I tell people, because they're like, oh, man, you're so much happier and you're so much better. And I'm like, I'm getting there. Like, I'm compared to where I was 15 months ago, I am a completely different person. I am the best version of myself I've ever been in my life, and I'm only getting better.
Hell yeah, man. And that's all we can ask for. So you made friends, you were diving into the program, and you did the 42 days, after the detox. Remind me, did you go to sober living, or did you go home?
I went to the house.
Went home. Gotcha. So what did life look like after?
The transitioning back, because one of the things that I didn't think about or I was prepared for was I'm going back to the same town, the same house, the same places I was using at. And there would be times we'd be watching TV that I'd be like, oh shit, I haven't used in a couple hours. I'm going to get sick. And like my stomach would start knotting up and everything. Like it was the mental trick. Like even though I know I hadn't used in, a few months, it would still be one of those things. And then trying to slowly gain the trust of my family back, show them that I'm not going to go back down that path, because they've been through this with me so many times. Yeah. Like I can say everything under the sun. I promise this is it. I won't do it again. Da, da, da. That's not enough. I have to show them. And the best way to do that is to show up. And that's what I've done. Like my dad needs me, I'm there. My brother needs me, I'm there. My sister needs me, I'm there. Like any of my family, like I don't really see myself as the people say I have family and friends. I say I have family. Like the people that are my friends, that's my family. Those are the people that care about me, that they never turn their back on me. Every day when I get my phone here, I had messages, positivity, we love you, we care about you, we know you can do this. And they have helped me maintain my accountability. Because the thing is, I hid using fentanyl from them for almost 4 years. So even with the sponsor, the big book, going to meetings, WA, doing every single tool under the sun, I knew I could still use and hide and lie if I wanted to, because I'd done it before. So I knew when I left the gate, I had to be able to take 100% accountability for myself. Like if I wanted to get high, I was going to get high, but I didn't. I didn't want to get high. And I knew even with my sponsor, meeting, doing all that stuff, all phenomenal tools, all helps, every bit of it. But I know at the end of the day, I have to hold myself accountable. Because at any given moment, I go, you know what, I think I could use a little bit.
Yeah.
But I've never even had that smallest inclination. Even with the dramas that I've had, I've never thought about using. Not once. Not since probably, I'd say, the end of my first week here.
Yeah.
My first week of RTC.
And very similar to the trauma. We got to get it out. We got to voice it. We got to get it out of our system, right? We have to speak it. Same thing with sobriety on those days when we are jonesing and we are wanting to drink and we want to use. To me, the best thing to do, especially with our family, is to voice it, to let them know, to include them. Hey, man, I'm getting real thirsty. You know, that lets them know, hey, something's up here. We need to pay attention, right, without really going into greater detail. And quick story about how that can work. Coming back on a trip and going through Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, it was just a rough trip. And flight delayed again. I was just in one of those moods. It just hit me out of nowhere. And, man, yeah, I really wanted a drink. I really did. And I went to a restaurant. I thought maybe let me get something to eat, some water, something like that. And the lady the hostess at the little restaurant there in the terminal, she's like, all I got's the bar, right? And, you know, my response was, no, I can't do that. I'm an alcoholic, and I'm getting real thirsty right now. That's all I said. And most people wouldn't say that, right? But you'd be surprised when you do open up the feedback that you get. That lady was so sweet. She's like, Sugar, I know exactly what you're talking about. Half my family is addicts, alcoholics, etc. Don't worry, baby, I got you. You know, sweet older lady, right? She said, don't worry, baby, I got you. I waited there for like a minute or two. Next thing you know, she had me seated at the back, away from the bar. I was watching Alabama get their ass kicked in football. I was eating some snacks and drinking some water. Everything was right with the world. You know what I mean? But it takes that honesty that you're talking about, that honesty. It takes that honesty, being open, saying, yeah, I'm having a fucked up day. I need some help here.
And I've told people more than once, I'll be like, don't ask me the question if you don't want the answer, because I don't lie now. Like, and they'll say, hey, how's this going? Or what's going on with this? Or why'd you do that? And I'll be like, are you sure you want the answer? Like, you might not like what I'm going to say. But honesty is the best honest policy. Like, the truth shall set you free.
And our secrets keep us sick.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah. So let's talk about life these days in the past 15 months, you know, because you come here all the time. And you come back for a recharge, and it's not around the corner kind of drive for you. It takes, what, 8-10 hours to get here?
It's about 8 hours.
8 hours. It's like me going home to Louisiana. It's about an 8-hour trip. And you're here all the time, which is, in my estimation, what it takes because you're bringing it back. But tell me about the day in, day out life of Cale these days.
I spend time with my dad, which is very important to me. My best friend growing up, he has 7 kids, and they all call me uncle. And I've been a part of their lives, their entire lives. And they've unfortunately had to witness my addiction, which they love this Cale. Like, I take them to and from school. Like, I go eat lunch with them at school and stuff. I'm always at their house eating dinner with them and stuff. Like, I go do little odd jobs here and there just to keep myself busy, because people talk about boredom being a trigger for them. And I would always tell people, an early sobriety is a dangerous thing to walk through your own mind unescorted. For me now, though, that alone time, I need that because I need to walk through my mind. Like, I need to. In early sobriety, it was easy to lie to myself and say, hey, it'll be okay. Like, this happened, you can use. Now I can go through my mind and be like, okay, like, this is okay. Like, you can feel this. You can't act on it. You can feel it, but just leave it at that. Have this moment and just move past it. And that's all I do with it now. And, like, life now, without having to constantly be a slave to fentanyl, like, I enjoy every day. Like, I'm living with my dad again right now, and he wakes up from being military. He wakes up every day at 5:30, lets the dogs out, which the back door is right by my room. That door sticks really bad. So every morning I get woken up about 5:30, 5:45, and I don't sleep for shit at home. Like, my sleep still sucks. Like, On an average night, I probably get 2 to 3 hours. Here, I sleep like a baby when I'm on the recharges.
Really?
Like, it's the only place I sleep because I'm safe here. That's when I tell people about when you get here and everyone says, welcome home. To me, home is not a place, it's a people. And welcome home is what your family says to you whenever you've been out on the road, you've been on a truck, you've been on deployment, mission, whatever. When we say that to people here, we're saying we're going to protect you. You're safe here. We're going to feed you. We're going to help you mentally. We're going to help you emotionally. We're going to help you physically. We're going to give you every opportunity to take your life back. You just have to meet us halfway. And that's what, to me, welcome home is. And that's, I think, the brotherhood here and the staff are just absolutely amazing. And every single time I've come here, which I think this is like the 7th time in 15 months, every single brotherhood, not once have they been like, who the hell is this fucking guy? Every time they're like, hey, welcome, brother, welcome home. I'm like, oh, I'm on a recharge. They're like, oh, okay, like, how does it work? And they talk to me about it, and I'll explain. I'm like, oh, man, I'm definitely going to do that. And that's why I like to try to come back and just talk to these guys, because I can see them broken. And I remember what it was like for me whenever I came in, and I need those reminders, because those things help me to know that I'm moving forward, not backwards.
And every warrior community needs warriors like you that have been there, that have done that have fallen down and stood back up and can show the rest how to do it.
I appreciate that.
Those are few and far between. Those are the elder warriors, the elder statesmen, as they call it, the braves in the Native American community that have been there, done that, and can show the younger guys how to do it, right? A lot of us can say we served. A lot of us can say we had a successful career. Not all of us can. But others can say, yeah, I went back into the fire for those who were lost, and I helped bring them back out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the true definition of a warrior right there. So what if you graduated or, retired after 20 years or 30 years of service with a bunch of medals on your chest? That's great, right? But it's not quite as great as those who have really made an impact on the others. You know what I mean?
And it was the brotherhood here that picked me up and saved my life. And that's why I feel I owe Warrior's Heart and the brotherhood here and the staff. Like, the staff that took the time to sit down and talk to me when they seen that I was struggling. Like, it's important for them to be able to see me and be like, hey, he's still killing it. Like,
yeah.
Every time they see me, they're like, man, you look so much better, so much better. Like, and it's important for me to come back to this brotherhood to say, hey, man, look, I came back from fentanyl. Like, if I can come back from being as broken and trying to kill myself as I was, y'all can do it too. And that's why I try to tell them, like, it's not over. Like, as long as there's still breath in your lungs, you still have fight in you, and you can still do this. It's not impossible. Even though it might feel like it, it's not impossible.
And at some point, we tell ourselves that it's not possible.
Mm-hmm.
Don't box yourself in like that. Don't lie to yourself like that. Can't, never could. I used to hate that saying too.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really understand it. But yeah, if you tell yourself you can't, you never will.
That's one of the cliche sayings is the best part about sobriety is you get your feelings back. The worst part about sobriety is you get your feelings back. And that one was one of the hard ones for me, because the whole time I was here going through treatment, my Oakleys were on all day long, even at night, because all those traumas that I've been bearing were coming up, and it would come out of nowhere, and I'd just start crying. And I was hiding it for a long time. And it got to the point where I was like, I don't need to hide this from these guys. These guys aren't going to judge me. Mm-mm. They're not going to think I'm weak or I'm a coward. Like, and by opening up to them, they opened up to me. And, like, our groups were absolutely amazing. Like, the brotherhood that I was here with, like, we have a group chat of 20 of us that it stays pretty active, and we talk to each other all the time. Like, last night, it was one of the guys' birthdays, so we posted in there. Bunch of guys comment, tell him, happy birthday, you old fuck. Like, and it's stuff like that it helps with the long-term stuff. Because some of these guys have relapsed. Some of them, they've come back to the program and stuff, and there's no judgment. And in that group, absolutely not. It's not allowed. Like, people make mistakes. Like I said, it took me 10 times before I ever even got anything close to recovery.
10 rehabs?
10 times. When I came through Warrior's Heart, this was my 10th total treatment.
Wow.
My second time at Warrior's Heart, I'd done VA 8 times before this. I've been doing treatment since 2008.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in any of those treatments, aside from Warrior's Heart, did you ever go back for reunions?
No.
Did you do group texts? Did you go back for recharges?
No.
Yeah. Something different about this place.
Absolutely. This is sacred ground, 100%. There is nowhere on earth like this except in Virginia.
Yeah. Yeah, Virginia campus, yeah.
The Warrior's Heart, I always tell people it's a very special place. And it's not just because it's a beautiful facility that's well kept and taken care of. It's the staff, it's the brotherhood, it's the groups, the classes. Like, you don't get a lot of downtime for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
You're here for a purpose. And I'm a firm believer that 7 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. schedule, like, it's every single day, like, it's a good thing. And guys will be like, man, I'm burnt out. Like, I just want a day off. And I'm like, hey, I'm here trying to fix my life. Like, I don't need a day off. Like, I'm trying to be a sponge and soak up as much of this as I can.
Your addictions and your traumas sure shit ain't taking a day off.
Period.
They're waiting.
And that's it. And they're waiting for me to just be like, oh, I got this. Like, I don't need this anymore. Like, I don't need to go to the meeting. I don't need to talk to a sponsor. I don't need to be in this group chat. Like, that's why all the things I do, and I'm on the Vivitrol. That's my ace in the hole is the Vivitrol shot. Like, I couldn't get high if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
It's naloxone or naltrexone, but it's extended release. So it's a shot I take every 28 days that covers the pleasure center of your brain that will not allow opiates to attach to it. That shot in itself, it kills my cravings, and then it takes away the thought of even, because it's not going to work. It's not going to do anything. I will overdose and die before I ever feel anything from it.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, having that, it's just, me being an infantryman, one of the things they beat into you is always improve your fighting position. And ever since my first week of RTC, that's all I've done is improve my fighting position. With the Vivitrol shot, with the meetings, the sponsors, with the brotherhoods, with my recharges, the reunions.
Mm-hmm.
And I continue to add new things. I won't take anything away because everything I've been doing has been working.
Yeah.
So I only continue to add things to it to strengthen what I'm doing and to continue to make me a stronger person. And that's why I love coming back here.
You know, as a cop, we have a use of force continuum. Back in the day, it was kind of like a pyramid almost. If they use this weapon, then you can use this weapon. If they use that weapon, then you can use that weapon. And then it went to like a circle to where you're in the middle. Whatever weapon you need to use in that fight, use it, right? And we don't always think of it from that standpoint. But when you're in a fight for survival, when you're in a fight for your life, you're going to use whatever tool you have to. The shoulder mic for my radio, the little stretchy one or whatever. We're not trained on how to strangle somebody with a shoulder mic cord, but I guarantee you, if it came to it, I would use that in a fight against my enemy.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever tool that we're given along the way, absolutely use it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's working, keep fucking doing it.
Yep.
Use those tools. But Warrior's Heart gives you the tools, but you got to use them. And what's the thing that you see so many times out of people who come through here in relapse? Were they using the tools?
Nope.
Nope.
And that's why I tell people, you got to open your fucking mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you just sit there and you're just in that group and you're not doing anything, you might as well just leave now. Like, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
And I can say that from experience. Like, I sat here for 49 days back in 2021, never said a word in group, made maybe 2 or 3 friends, made 7.5 hours out the gate. Takes me 7.5 hours to get to the pill guy's house. Like, that's why I try to tell people, open your mouth and speak, man. No one's going to judge you. No one's going to think less of you. Like, I know it's very hard to be vulnerable, especially when you're around a bunch of studs, firefighters, cops, law enforcement, military. It's hard to show weakness, or it's hard to show vulnerability.
Yeah.
Not weakness. It's hard to show vulnerability. But once you finally open that door and you see that no one's going to judge you, no one's going to talk about you, it makes it so much easier. And once that one person starts, then he starts, then he starts, then he starts. And it's a beautiful thing. It really is, like, to see all these big, muscled, tattooed, badass dudes just break down and just let it out because they've held it in for so long, because everyone sees him as, oh, he's a soldier or he's a fireman or he's a cop. Like, those are badass motherfuckers. Like, you don't want to show anyone any type of vulnerability or any weakness at all. But here, you have to dump that shit. You have to. If you try to hold it in, it's not going to work. And you're just going to go right back to it. And that's exactly what happened to me the first time. That's why when I came through this time, once that state trooper said that to me, it changed that perspective in my head of this thing that I was so embarrassed and ashamed about. Now I started having, it was a very little bit of pride, but I started having some pride. And all it took was that one little conversation from him for me to start changing my perspective completely. And it was about perspective and accountability to me. And it was changing my perspective of how I saw myself and what I felt in myself, and then taking accountability of my actions and what I'm doing. Once I was able to do those things and get that under control, life has been easy. Like, and again, I've had things happen to me since I left here, like traumatic things, but it wasn't anything that made me go, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to go back to fentanyl. Or I've been like, you know what, life's great, I'm going to just go use a little bit of fentanyl, it'll be okay. Like, I can say with 100% integrity, there hasn't been 1 second of my life since I left that gate that I've thought about fentanyl at all.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. It's a total psychic change, man. It's a spiritual encounter that brings about that next dimension of human existence.
And that was, for me, finding a higher power was, without a doubt, the greatest thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
And finding that and being able to have that higher power to talk to and to give all this grief and all this weight and all this heaviness that I've been carrying. I'm just saying, okay, I'm going to talk to you about it. I'm going to work through this with you. I'm going to continue to talk to the group, sponsors, and everything else. But talking is what really made the difference.
Yeah. I love it, man. It's beautiful. We're going to wrap this up. I'm going to throw a couple of rapid fire questions at you, a little short question, short answer kind of thing, and then we'll wrap it up. What are you most grateful for today?
Man, that's a lot of things. I know it's supposed to be rapid fire, but my family and my warrior's heart.
There you go. What is something addiction stole from you?
Me.
And what did recovery give back to you?
Me.
I love it. Absolutely. What's one thing every veteran should hear?
You're not alone, and it's okay to ask for help.
Damn right. What does strength mean to you today?
Asking for help.
Yeah, that's real strength. Absolutely. What's something you wish someone had told you 15 years ago?
You can't do it alone.
Yeah. Man, that's great. And all those things are completely different from when you came in here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, terminal uniqueness. I'm so unique, it's terminal to me. It's going to kill me. I can't ask for help. These dudes are going to judge me. I'm weak. I'm a pussy. None of that shit's true. You find your real strength when you ask for help, and then when you work the program and actually get the help. You know, That's where the real strength comes in. Real strength. If there's somebody listening right now, military veteran, first responder, anybody struggling with pain pills, fentanyl, addiction, what's the one thing you want them to focus on?
That we do recover. It is possible. It doesn't matter how bad you think you are or how shitty life is, whether you're homeless or you're stealing from your family or anything like that. It can get better. Like, the last 15 months of my life has been the best 15 months of my life.
Yeah.
Like, and again, I've gone through some pretty crappy things over the last 15 months, but I still will say it's been the best 15 months of my life. Like it's, again, I felt I was too broken. Like I couldn't be fixed. Like other guys, like it'll work for them, but it won't work for me. Like I'm too far gone.
Yeah.
Anyone can get help. You just have to ask for it. And as far as if it's an opiate or a fentanyl guy, it's going to suck at first. But once you get through that hump, it'll be worth it.
Absolutely. Man, I really appreciate you taking time out of your recharge, out of your day to sit down and chat with me.
Thank you for having me here. I'm very proud to do this.
It's been an honor. You know, you sat down at the alumni reunion that we had, and your testimony in the alumni video has been seen by a lot of people, and you're really making a difference in people's lives. And I appreciate you sharing a little bit about yourself, Cale.
Thank you for having me on here.
Of course, man. Continue to do what you're doing.
Yes,
and
sir.
You're here this week. How long are you here for? Like a week?
I'm here until Monday or Tuesday.
Monday or Tuesday. I'll be in Virginia from tomorrow on. But while you're here, I know you're going to be interacting with the guys and showing them the right way, man.
I'm about to go to the 1 o'clock group.
There you go. And we need that. We need that.
Every time I'm here, I go to every group. Every group I can. The only group I can go to is trauma group.
Yeah.
But I'm even at the roll call and everything.
Hell yeah. That's how we get it done.
I let them know I'm here for them.
Anybody else that's out there watching and thinking, hey, I need the same kind of help. I need what Cale got. I need what Robert got and all those other guys got. 855-610-1003. Give us a call. Go on our website. There's forms you can fill out to have some of us call you. We got the podcast now. We got social media everywhere, documentaries. If you want to know about it, give us a call. Ask. Look us up. 855-610-1003. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
All right.
Thing that they said was welcome home.